Volkswagen may close German plants for the first time in history. Volkswagen could shut down as many as 3 factories in Germany and lay off tens of thousands of workers as it seeks to regain its edge in Europe amid slumping sales and increasing competition from China, the company's top employee representative said on Monday. The closures would be the first in the 87-year history of the company, Germany's largest employer, and would be a further blow to the country's already stagnant economy. The representative Daniela Cavallo, who leads the council representing the company's employees in Germany, told a gathering of workers at Volkswagen's home plant in Wolfsburg that the proposed closures were part of the plan that managers had presented to the Works Council. The company wants to close at least 3 Volkswagen factories, downsize all remaining plants, divest itself of core areas, and on top of that, realize heavy pay cuts for the remaining employees, she said. Volkswagen is also considering cutting the workforce at the plants in Germany that would remain open, Ms. Carvalho said. She adds in concrete terms, this means taking out even more products, volumes, shifts, and entire assembly lines far beyond to what we have already done. Volkswagen is a flagship brand of Volkswagen Group, which also includes Audi and Porsche. And no other company in Germany carries the same weight as Volkswagen. Its history is intertwined with the country's economic and industrial prowess of the post-World War II era, and local economies of entire regions across the country depend on Volkswagen and its well-paid workers. Volkswagen declined to comment on the details of the plan, saying it would do so only once the company and employee representatives had agreed to a solution. But in a statement, managers said that because of shrinking demand and growing competition, employment costs in Germany remain too high and existing structures would have to change. Without comprehensive measures to regain competitiveness, we will not be able to afford significant investments in the future, Gunnar Kilian, member of the management board, said in a statement. A spokesman for Olaf Scholz, Germany's chancellor, suggested that wrong management decisions could be to blame for Volkswagen's troubles and said workers should not have to pay the price. The aim now is to maintain the secure jobs, the spokesman said. Wolfgang Büscher told Regular Briefing by government officials. Mr. Schulz, the Chancellor of Germany, is under pressure to review the flagging German economy, the largest in Europe, amid shrinking industrial output. The country is on the only one of the world's 7 leading economies that the International Monetary Fund is projecting will stagnate this year. The German government said this month that it expected the economy to contract 0.2% in 2024, down from an earlier projection of 0.3% growth. Volkswagen suggested last month that factory closures in Germany might be necessary for its flagship brand to remain relevant. Automobile manufacturing is Germany's most important industry, contributing 564 billion euros or $610 billion to the country's economy. But this is also heavily dependent on exports, especially to China, where German manufacturers sold around 4.3 million cars in 2021, according to the German Association of Automobile Industry, a trade group. In recent years, though, the Chinese consumers have turned to domestically produced electric vehicles, causing demand for German vehicles to fall. And since the pandemic, the demand for cars in Europe has also dropped by roughly 500,000, as Volkswagen leaders have repeatedly pointed out. From the management's perspective, the number translates roughly to the output of 2 of Volkswagen's 10 plants in Germany, said Arno Anlitz, Volkswagen's chief financial officer. He said this is basically the magnitude of 2 factories, and that is where we stand, and we have to look at it. Volkswagen is also in wage negotiations with IG Metall Union, which represents most of the car makers' workers, and is seeking a 7% pay increase. The 2 sides decided to open the talks over a new pay deal several months early because of the restructuring plans. The next round is scheduled for Wednesday, that's today, and Ms. Cavallo called on the company to present employees with a plan. Her announcement 2 days before the talks added to the uncertainty among workers. My colleagues and I, we are worried about our jobs, Britta John, Volkswagen employee and spokeswoman for IG Metall told the German public broadcaster NDR. The situation is really discouraging. And well, my comment is that there's a lot of Asian cars, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese flooding the. If you see the models of the Chinese cars flooding Europe, they're eye poppers. They're so beautiful. So they have a lot of competition. This is by New York Times on DNYUZ. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.